Alex, did you know that bush turkeys can't fly?
Yes, they can.
No, they can't.
How do you know that?
Because I just know.
How do you just know?
Because I believe it.
But why do you believe that they can't?
Because I do.
Why should your believing convince me?
Because I'm right.
How do you know you're right?
I just do.
Well, that conversation's going nowhere fast. Have you ever had a conversation like that? One that just didn't seem to go anywhere? We can see that Dave's believing something is no reason at all for Alex to believe it too. Now, let's see if we can't fix this conversation.
Alex, did you know that bush turkeys can't fly?
Oh, really? How do you know that?
Because I've got a convincing argument.
Oh, and what's that?
Well, in order to fly, birds need to be aerodynamic. Bush turkeys aren't aerodynamic, therefore bush turkeys can't fly.
At least that's an argument.
One of the things we value most in philosophical thinking is cogency.
Oh, hi. I'm the glossary fairy. Peter just used a very specific term then, cogency. Philosophers sometimes use words that you may not have come across before, but that's okay. I'm here to help. Whenever an important word, or one that philosophers use differently from most people, comes up, you should see me in the corner of your screen. Now go on, Pete. Be a good philosopher and explain to the nice people what cogency means.
Cogency is the quality of appealing to reason. A cogent argument is one that makes rational sense. It's not an appeal to pity or a threat of force, it's an appeal to logic. Philosophers value cogency because it means an argument can be explained to and understood and accepted by others. That's why Dave initially failed to convince Alex. His argument lacked cogency. If Dave wants Alex to share his belief, he'll need to work a bit harder. He'll need to be more cogent. Alex is much more likely to agree with Dave because he has given a cogent argument. It doesn't mean he is right, but he has a much better chance of getting his idea accepted if he makes an argument rather than merely asserting his point of view. Argumentation, the use and study of arguments, is an important part of the methodology of philosophy. When we do philosophy, we need to understand some words that are pretty fundamental to the way we think. These are words such as belief, knowledge, and even think. Let's start with that one, think. Are you thinking right now? Well, if you're watching this, then yes, you are. But is what your brain is doing now all there is to thinking? Are you doing philosophy by just watching something? The answer, of course, is no. There is a particular type of thinking, we might call it philosophical thinking, that we'd like to develop with you in this course. Philosophical thinking isn't just hard thinking. It's hard for most of us to multiply two-digit numbers in our head, for example. But that isn't philosophical thinking. We can best understand philosophical thinking as thinking about thinking. We also communicate our thinking to other people, and we analyse their thinking through speaking with them or reading what they write. But not only do we think about thinking, we evaluate thinking as well. We try to develop a series of tests and put in place certain values to make sure we are thinking as well as we can. Cogency is one of the principles that we use to evaluate thinking. We'll look at more of these principles as the course progresses.